thought, my impressions of the game were about the same as it were right afterwards. There were some moments we played pretty well, and then there's some other moments that we didn't play well. Offensively, I think we were pretty efficient, but we had a couple big mistakes or a couple of things that execution-wise that we should have been able to do. And you got to give them some credit. And then defensively, the same thing. We didn't do a good job getting off blocks, and we blew a couple of coverages, which was uncharacteristic for us, and they allowed them to control the ball a little bit and limit our possession. So we've got to get a lot better defensively. We did do a nice job in the red zone and kept them to a couple field goals, and at the end of the game got some stops. So we got to help play a whole lot better against a really explosive Cal team, particularly offensively this weekend.
Solomon used the word horrible to describe his game Saturday. Is that a little bit too much?
Yeah, I think he's harder on himself than we could probably ever be, and he's a really, really competitive guy. He's kind of a quiet competitor. Like, he doesn't say a whole lot, but the good thing about his growth and his maturation is that when we do correct him or do point out a mistake, he knows it already. And as I told him before, I said, in our quarterback in our system, you never really have a play off mentally. You always got to be on, and sometimes that's hard, particularly when you're a young player. But he's handled that part extremely well. And that's why he's going to keep getting better. And we got other quarterbacks too that are, I think, pretty good. But Anu's, for a redshirt freshman, I think he's acquitted himself pretty well, and the competition will obviously continue to grow when we get into Pac-12.
When you watch Cal on film, where are maybe their improvement showing up the most?
Well, defensively, they got a couple of their key guys that were out last year with injury. Not just starters, but key starters. They're back. And then offensively, they're all back pretty much to the same cast of crew that threw the ball well against about everybody last year. So it's a second-year system. I think they understand it. They got a new defense, but they got their defensive guys back, and they're playing with confidence. The big win over Northwestern, they jumped on them pretty big on the road, and then the last game wasn't even a contest. But then they've had an open week, 2 weeks to get ready for. So I'm sure they're pointing to this as a key game in their season, but it's a key game in our season too.
As a group, how much do you guys want to force some more turnovers? Is that an emphasis kind of going forward here?
Yeah, actually, coach just gave us a word about that. We need to make more turnovers. But we had 2 interceptions in 3 games and 1 forced fumble. We didn't get the fumble. We got to get way better as far as being more aggressive, getting more hats to the ball. When you run to the ball, more things can happen for you as a defense.